Hey, I'm Cassie, and this is Rideau Knits. Welcome back to Rideau Knits, my knitting podcast where I talk all about all the things that I've been making lately. It's been a bit since I last recorded a podcast episode. Christmas and January basically got away from me. I did record two Make 9 videos in January, one about all of my selfish knits and one all about the gifts I plan to knit. So there are 18 things on those lists and I will link them down below along with all of the makers, yarn, things like that I talk about in this episode, and where you can find me on the internet. I am Rideau Knits on Instagram and Ravelry, and I don't really use Ravelry other than to buy patterns, and I track most of my projects on Knit and Note because I find it to be a little more user-friendly for all the things that I track on there. So I have several finished objects, lots of works in progress, and no acquisitions. So let's dive right on in and talk about all the things that I've been making lately. So first, I am wearing my first finished object, and that is the Mayberry cardigan. This is a pattern by Amy Loudon of Tailoress Studio. It is a half fisherman's rib cardigan, and I knit this in Lana Grossa Arioso in whatever the black colorway is. So this is what it looks like. I have not attached buttons to it yet. But I'm still counting it as finished because I actually quite enjoy wearing it open. So there should be 4 or 5, 6, 7, I don't even remember. There should be buttons on here, but I have not put them on yet. So it has like a little bit of a poofy sleeve, and it's slightly cropped. It hits right at the top, like right at my belly button. And I'm actually really loving the fit of this. I love the fabric. It's very soft, but it is getting pretty fuzzy, so I am afraid it's gonna pill quite a bit. I don't have like any pilling yet, but I do only wear it for short periods of time because in my house, like I've said before, if you've watched any previous episodes, it's very hot. I'm currently wearing shorts. I'll probably end up taking this off immediately after I'm done recording. I think it's currently 24 degrees Celsius in my house because it's hard to regulate our heat with the wood stove and the variable temperature outside. So I do get quite warm. So that is my first finished object, and I really love it. I think this is like one of my favorite pieces fit-wise that I've ever knit. So that's exciting. My next finished objects are here. If you watched my previous episode, episode 10, I was on a mission to knit Christmas socks for everyone in my family, my immediate family. So myself, my husband, our 2 kids, my parents, and my sister and her boyfriend to wear on Christmas Day. And I was successful. Only barely. My son is 8 months old, and I only just finished his socks on Christmas morning. So between the time that we finished opening Christmas presents, my children, my husband and myself, and the time my mom and dad and my sister and her boyfriend got to our house, I finished my son's Christmas socks. So the last time, I'm pretty sure I had finished all but mine and the kids. So these are, they are worn. I have not washed them. But these are mine. They are knit on a 2.25 millimeter needle. This is a 68 stitch sock, which is what I prefer for myself and my dad. Knit in Hobby Christmas sock yarn. I think this was colorway 6. And I used a Sandnesgarn Sisu contrast for the heel flap. So it is a top down with a heel flap and gusset. And yeah, like I said, 68 stitches. And then, so I finished these, I finished all the other pairs. And then since then I also cast on and knit this little pair for my daughter using the same yarn. Hers I think was 44 or 48 stitches on a 2.25. I'm pretty sure I used as a base the school socks. Whatever Hannah Graham sock pattern is of Hannah G knits. I used that as the base for the cast on, and then I just did a regular vanilla kind of sock, except for hers I did ribbing all at the top and then ribbing on the top of the foot, so it would be a little stretchier in case the size was wrong, because I knit these mostly when she was sleeping, so I couldn't try them on her. My daughter is 2, she's almost 3. And yeah, and then I cast on a pair for my son, and because he's only 8 months old, I went down, I think this is a 38 or 36 stitch sock. Again, I used the pattern as the base for what I should cast on, and he is fairly thick, so they didn't actually fit. These fit my daughter perfectly, but these did not fit my son, so he was kind of excluded from our little family sock adventure. But they are cute. I did cast on, I did a short row heel to try and save some time, and yeah, I knit these 2 socks in like 12 hours. It was a lot. Next year, if I plan on doing the same thing, which I don't know that I will cast the socks on much earlier, so I'm not rushing at the very end right before Christmas to finish them all. I'll also try and measure my son's feet beforehand to make sure that they fit. So that was annoying, but you know, it is what it is. And I have one more finished object. I'm counting it as a finished object because I cast it off, but I have not woven in the ends, and I have not attached the buttons. This is the back of my Whitmore cardigan. This is a pattern by Amy Loudon of Taylor S Studio, another one. And I love it. I think it looks so cute. I love the lace, and I still have loose ends, and I have not attached the buttons. So I did put just a light bulb stitch marker to hold it closed when I was blocking it. It's so cute. I can't wait to wear it. I'm very excited about it. And I knit this in Sandnesgarn Baby Wool Lynette as the base yarn, and then a strand of Sandnesgarn Tin Silk Mohair. And I can't remember what the colors are off the top of my head, but they will be in the description below. They are both like a dark gray. I did it cropped length and with the balloon sleeve. Actually, maybe I'll try it on so you can see how it fits. So this is it on. I don't remember what size I knit. Actually, did I write it down in my notes? I did not. I can look it up. The sleeves are quite balloony, which I like. And it is cropped. It is more cropped than my Mayberry cardigan, and obviously it's pulling a little because I don't have buttons on it. But overall, I like the fit of it. I don't know if I'll wear it open or if I'll wear it closed all the time. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it so far. I'm interested to see how it looks like in the outfits that I plan to wear it with. And yeah, I loved doing the lace. I really like knitting lace, so this was a really nice project for that. And I feel like it knit up pretty quickly. And yeah, so that's my other finished object. I'm gonna take this off because it's very, very warm. And I'll put my Mayberry cardigan back on. All right, I also have like kind of a part finished. It's an ongoing project that I'm not counting each. It's made up of lots of parts. Anyways, I'm being weird. That's kind of cryptic and weird. I'm making scrubbies. So I have made 4 since the last time I recorded, and I am crocheting these. They are this like weird fuzzy scrubby yarn, which is this SC Yarns yarn for scrubbies. It is 100% polyester, and it is a Korean yarn. And I got this as a gift from my in-laws. They got it on Amazon for Christmas 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and I haven't actually crocheted with it yet. I had suggested this as an option for something similar to this that they could buy me for Christmas, and they got me a 12 pack from Amazon. So I have knit out of the one ball. I actually have other ones that I finished a long time ago somewhere. I think my daughter has some to play with in her toy kitchen, but I've knit these or crocheted these 4, and I still have enough to finish definitely one more of these out of this ball, so I can get at least 6, possibly 7 out of the one. And I am crocheting these on just a boy metal hook, and it is a 6mm hook or a J hook. And I'm doing, they also got me this book with like an instruction book, but it doesn't make any sense. So I kind of have been winging it in terms of how I'm doing it. So I do a magic circle, I single crochet 8 in the center, and then I do, single crochet 8, then I do 2 single crochets in every stitch, so I get 16, and then I do a single crochet, then 2 in the next stitch, then 1, then 2 in the next, and then on the next round I do a single crochet, 2 in 1 stitch all the way around until, and then I do 2 rounds of just single crochet all the way around, and then I do it in the opposite, so I decrease to make it this like puffy little ball. If that made any sense at all. I've just been kind of winging it. So it makes like a little puffy ball that's kind of flat, which I think is great. You can throw them in the washing machine and in the dryer. And yeah, great for washing dishes. And once I figured that out, I'm gonna give some as gifts. So these are the other colors that I got in the 12 pack. I got purple and yellow and white and this tealy blue, and this brown. And then these, I just keep them all in this basket. And I am hoping to use up a bunch of them this year. I've been keeping this down on the couch downstairs for when I watch TV with my husband, and I don't feel like knitting. I can just kind of whip up these little scrubbies. They take no time at all, and they use up a bunch of yarn in my stash. So that's nice, and they're practical. So I just keep this basket on a bookshelf. So once I'm done with one color, I can just grab the next color and keep going. So that is those. I also have a half-finished object. Where is that? I'm just like surrounded by yarn on my kitchen table. Here it is. So I am knitting in my gift knitting make 9. I am one of the 9 is socks. I'm planning on knitting socks throughout the year as gifts for the various people in my life. And this is the first one. And these are going to be for my dad for his birthday. His birthday's not until May, but I'm trying to like get ahead of the game. So this is the yarn. This is a 68 stitch sock. I did a 2x2 rib for the cuff. I don't remember how many rounds I did. I always do like 20 or 25 rounds for the cuff, and a heel flap and gusset. I do 50 rounds on the foot before I start the toe. And so that's the first one, which then takes me into my works in progress. So I did cast on the second sock, which is in this little bag that I made out of scrap fabric that my mom gave me when I was learning to sew, which is the perfect size for a ball of yarn. So I did cast on the second one. I only am like partway through the cuff. And this is the yarn that I'm using for those. This is the Prolana Silberberg, what is it, Golden Socks. I think that's 4-ply. And this is colorway number 574. And it is 100%, no, 75% wool and 25% polyamide. And I got this as a 6-pack, a 5-pack, from my local yarn store, or from a local yarn store near-ish to me, called Wool Time in Ottawa, and I got them at a discount in their tent sale. So I am knitting this blue pair for my dad, and then my next whip is this gray pair. So I am partway through the leg. This is a 72 stitch sock knit on a 2.25 millimeter needle. This is going to be either for my sister's boyfriend or for my husband. And it's the same yarn, but this is colorway 573. And it's, yeah, it's nice. I also have a green and a purple and a pink, and I think that's it. So 5 colors. And I got them at a pretty good discount. I think I paid $40 for the bag of them, I think, which is pretty good for balls of yarn. I feel like I'm rushing, and I kind of am because my son took a long nap this morning, and so I'm not sure he's gonna sleep for very long now. So, okay, take a breath, check my notes. My next work in progress. This one has actually been a work in progress for a long time, and I have not shown it because it's going so slow. So slow. This, I also haven't been working on it that like consistently, so that's why it's going so slow. This is the Stella top, which I did talk about in my gift knitting make 9. This is going to be a gift for my sister, and it is just like a square neck tank top with this rib fabric, but it's not like a consistent rib. So it's not like a 1x1 or a 2x2 or a 3x1. It is like 3, it's like a 1x1 3 times, and then 3 knits, and then 1. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's not consistent. And I am knitting for her the size 4, which is a 36-inch finished bust. And this is Hobby's Cotton Kings yarn. It comes on a cone, and I did use this cone to knit a tank top for myself earlier last year. So I'm using the rest of it to knit this tank top for my sister. And this is colorway 41. I think it's lavender or light purple or something, but it is like a lavendery color. And I am knitting this on the called for needle, which is a 2.75 millimeter needle, which is also why it's going so slow. And I got the pattern for free. It was, there was a code to get it for free for a while. And so I did that. I did a tubular cast on, and I'm not crazy about it. It looks, maybe it'll help. I mean, it's cotton, so it won't really block out that nicely, but it looks like crooked at the bottom. I don't know. I'm not crazy about the cast on. And the pattern says for these, for the single ribs, they are twisted, but it says you can do them not twisted. And I thought it looked nice twisted, but I really shouldn't have twisted them because I feel like I'd be going much faster on this if they were not twisted. So it's no fault of the pattern. It's just me being, you know, picky. Not picky, but like I just don't feel like knitting cotton on tiny needles with twisted rib and like, so I do, like when I have the brain space for it, I do plug away and get like a couple rounds in when we're watching TV. But I don't work on it that often. My sister's birthday, I actually cast this on before her birthday in 2023. Her birthday is in October. So maybe I'll have it ready for her birthday this year. We'll see. So yeah, that is my next work in progress. And that'll probably be a longer term whip that will very slowly get progress. I will add a progress keeper to that after I'm done recording. Apparently I'm just knitting gifts right now and not knitting anything, not really knitting anything for myself. Because my next whip is also a gift knit. So, like I talked about in my gift knitting make 9, my mom wanted a vest to wear inside. So something that's like not super, super heavy, and is cabled. So I cast on, I talked to her and she chose, or she looked through Ravelry at patterns and decided that she wanted the Haley slipover. And she wanted it in navy. And so this is the yarn that I'm using. This is, let's see, I'm keeping it in this basket. I'm actually keeping it in a bag in the basket. This bag I got as a gift from, or I won in a giveaway from Hannah of the Corner of Craft. And this basket is from Big Blue Mama that I got at my local yarn festival, which is also when I got this yarn, if I can find one of the tags for it. Where is it? Here we go. This is local to me in Ottawa. Dyer, it is Alley Cat Yarns. So it is hand dyed in Ottawa. And it is their Silk Yak DK base, which is a 60% superwash merino, 20% silk, and 20% yak. It is 231 yards per 100 grams. And it doesn't have a colorway name, but on their website, I'm pretty sure I think it's Deep Sea is what it's called, on the website. So it is this like beautiful navy color that I love. And since last time I did knit a swatch, memory card was full. So what I was saying was I knit a swatch like a good knitter. I'm trying to be better at that this year. So I knit my swatch I had 2 more stitches than the gauge called for. But I really like the fabric, the density of the fabric that I got. So because it's such a small swatch, I didn't really trust it to be entirely accurate. Because I generally think I tend to knit a little bit looser, when knitting on a larger, width of fabric. So what I did was I ignored my swatch and I just cast on the size that it called for my mom's bust measurement anyways. Because, you know, why would I listen to the swatch? So what I'm going to do, I've gotten this far. And this little marker is just marking the front of my work, which now I don't really need because I know what side is the front. It's very clear because of the cables. So let's see if you can see that. Is it? There we go. So I am following the chart for the back. I did cast on whatever it said for her size, but I may need to rip this all out and cast on the size up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit a little bit further through the cables, and then I'm going to block this piece to see if I can get the actual gauge that I need to have, because it is a little different. Like, I feel like I'm knitting looser on this piece because it's wider than the swatch. So I'm going to block it and see if it stretches out. I don't think it will stretch out a little bit, but just see if I am getting the measurement that I need to. So I'm going to keep knitting a little bit, see how it goes, and then I will block it and just double check. I have no problem ripping it out and recasting it on. It goes pretty quickly. I have not worked on this very much at all. And I do love knitting cables, so it goes pretty quick for me. This is knit, I think this is a 4.5 or a 4 millimeter. I think it's a 4 millimeter. So I may need to go up. I don't want to go up a needle size because I don't want it to be too loose, but I may need to go up a pattern size. So I am currently knitting it in the size C, which corresponds to a 38-inch bust, which gives the 2 inches or so that it calls for in the pattern of positive ease for my mom's measurements. And then the last thing that I've been working on is something for myself, finally, and that is the swatch for my V-neck boxy. This is the first pattern in my Make 9, and it is a pattern by Joji Locatelli, and it is just an oversized boxy sweater. I'm gonna knit mine more cropped with fitted. It calls for fitted sleeves, but I might do a little bit more of a balloon sleeve. I am really liking that that shape on myself, and it is a drop shoulder design with a V-neck. This yarn that I'm knitting it in is from Hello Stella Fibers. Lindsay of Hello Stella. Let's see if it focus. So Lindsay is my favorite yarn dyer. I love basically everything she dyes. And this is her exclusive tweed base, and this is the colorway Evergreen. So I knit my swatch in the round. I don't like to knit like half and then pull the yarn around, so I just cast on like a little tube to get an accurate gauge for my knitting in the round. I am 2 stitches off again on my gauge. So it is, I use the called for needles, which is a 3.5 millimeter needle. And so I'm going to do another swatch with a 3.75 millimeter needle and see, or a 4 millimeter needle and see if I can get the proper gauge. I have been thinking about this. It is a plain stockinette sweater, and I feel like I want just a tiny bit of texture. I mean, I know it has texture in the tweed, but I feel like this just like block of stockinette is gonna be, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be a little boring, if I'm being honest. And like, plain stockinette isn't boring. I love plain stockinette. I just think that, I don't know. I don't know why I have this feeling of it being like too much of the same thing. I might make it ribbed. Like a 3x1, or depending on the stitch count, I haven't actually looked at the stitch count of the body, or like a 5x1, or some like really wide rib. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll knit up a swatch in that and see how I feel about it. I'm gonna knit this size 4, which corresponds to a 42-inch chest circumference with a finished finished measurement, wow, words are hard today, of 66.5 inches. So it will be very oversized, and I just feel like that amount of fabric, just being plain stockinette, is gonna look, I don't know. What do you think? Tell me if I should make it like a wide rib, like a 5x1 or a 5x2 or 3 kind of thing, like a really wide rib, or if I should actually just follow the pattern and do it in plain stockinette. Let me know in the comments, because I'm torn. Help. Yeah, so I need to knit another swatch of this next and see how that turns out. So that is all the knitting I've been working on. The other thing I've been doing, because I should have way more knitting than this for how long it's been since I recorded, but the other thing I've been doing is a paint by number, and like, this is it. I don't know if anyone cares about this, but I'm gonna show it. So I've been doing this paint by number that I actually got like 3 years ago and forgot about. I was pregnant with my daughter and I started doing it, and then I was like, oh wait, paint fumes, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. And then I put it away and haven't done it since, so some of the paints are kind of dried out and I'm trying to revive them. I have revived some of them, but I'm kind of at the point where these ones that I still have to do are not coming back to life very well. So yeah, if you know how to bring back to life paint by number paint, let me know. So that's been fun. It's been a little bit different. My son is very large, and carrying him around all the time gives me a lot of wrist pain. So that does impact how much I am able to knit at a time, which has significantly dropped in the last like 3 months. So yeah, hopefully that starts to get better as he is learning to crawl, and I can knit a little bit more pain-free. I also got a Kindle for Christmas, so books have been a little bit taking over, and I'm hoping to get a gooseneck holder and a page turner so that I can knit while reading. I just don't have some way to prop my Kindle up right now so that I can knit at the same time. So yeah, hopefully that goes well. All right, that is all of the things that I have been making or working on lately, and so I hope you saw something you liked, and if you enjoyed any of this, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.